Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Semi-Perfect Podcast here on this July 13th Wednesday evening. Want to thank all of our live viewers for joining us here tonight as we're going to be discussing a number of topics, including the last weekend's BronyCon that just passed, as well as a phenomenon that has taken over the world, which is my face. Joining us here is Saber Spark.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 32.
Wow, 32?
Yeah, I'm a bit behind on the uploads on YouTube, but I'm taking care of that tonight. I'm trying to up the game on that. But yeah, this is episode 32.
Wow, we've made it this far. We're almost, what is that, a third of the way through a year? No, 2/3. Ignore me. Also joining us here tonight is a gentleman who joined us in BronyCon and helped us out with, well, not just helped us out, joined us for a few panels, including the POS podcast panel that he himself runs, Paleo Steno.
Yeah. What's up?
And then there's the girl who wasn't at BronyCon.
Yeah.
You were
Hi.
missed. You were missed though, Sarah. People were like, "Where's Sarah?"
Yeah, they were.
I'm like,
They
we
were
have,
upset.
she lost our trail. Thank God we were able to ditch her once and for all.
You know, it's funny because we, walking around the vendor hall, Sarah, we made a couple comments about how
You would have loved
we're-
it.
Well,
Yeah.
not only would you have loved the merch, but we wonder how you would do at selling stuff at a vendor table.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You would have crushed it actually. You have those really cutesy like headshot pictures, and I think you would have made a killing. You should totally consider being a vendor at cons, especially at BronyCon with 2017.
Perhaps. I will consider it.
Perhaps, yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
I
but,
will. Maybe I
for
will
BronyCon next year.
make some money. Maybe
If it's not below me. No.
I have important matters to attend to as I am training to become the world's fastest zenyatta.
Ooh, she is.
But our fifth host, Matt, Panama Matt, is currently getting his computer set up with Discord. According to Sarah, he got a new computer this week.
Yep.
So he's still getting acclimated, so he'll hop in here randomly later on in the show. But for the time being, I think it is just fine. Well, I guess before we hop into the story mode for BronyCon, let's just go ahead and pass around the mic and talk about our weeks. So, Sarah, how was your week?
It was good. I started playing Pokemon Go, and I've been a lot more active since then. Yeah.
Active in
been
the
good.
sense of like walking around the park or something, or
Yeah, I've actually been getting up in the morning and going and walking at our local park just behind our apartment. Been doing some walking, been doing some scootering down the street. Yeah.
I was, and I don't want to get too caught on this topic because I want to save it for later, but like there should be some kind of Uber / Pokemon Go combination where like some Uber be like, hey, we'll drive you around just for Pokemon Go.
Yeah. That
I,
actually
Like,
I've
and
already
I would totally play the do 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 while driving out of my car, little bike theme.
yeah.
Cute.
Shut up,
Gotta
shut,
chancy.
shut up, Mr. 26.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm bringing it up. How was it a 26 time?
it was awesome because Sarah joined me again for her
Yeah,
12th
12
time.
times. Mm-hmm.
And I found the way to get her to go with me is to buy her, well, it was going to be $10 worth of chocolate, but it ended up only being $7. So it was good.
Cool.
It got quiet.
Sorry.
we,
I had to mute my mic for a second. Lammy's being emotional.
that's-
I had to like talk to Lammy. I'm like, Lammy, I love you. Now go to your chair. There he is. He's scratching my leg. Good lord. I might have to let him outside. Hold on. Take the mic for a moment.
Shall do.
Okay.
So as Saber brought up, I have in fact seen Zootopia now 26 times in theaters. I thought 25 was going to be it, and then Sarah talked me into going a 26th time.
No. He
Sarah.
He bribed me with chocolate. He did. That's a very true story.
I can't help but feel that like you'd be like halfway through the movie and the chocolate's gone and you're like, I've made a terrible mistake.
She just looks at me and she's like, "Now I'm gonna starve." Well, no, it's actually funny because the chocolate she loves are these dark chocolate peanut butter cups that they sell at Sprouts.
Dairy-free.
And yeah, they're dairy-free, gluten-free. And so we go in there, and I've agreed to buy her 5 of these packages. They're $2 each, and that means she's gonna get a total of 10 peanut butter cups. And so that's the deal. Now, as we're walking in, I'm kind of thinking to myself, if there's only like 3, she's probably gonna just settle for like 3. So we walk up, and I'm just like, yeah, maybe there'll only be 2.
We were completely out of stock. And
There
I
were-
actually went to Sprouts today, and they had them, and I'm like, God dang it.
Yeah, no, so they were completely out, and I'm just sitting there like Nick, going, "Darn it,
It's
a bummer."
And I have another quick announcement, if y'all don't mind.
Go
Do
for
it.
it.
I opened up commissions again, and I think I did that about a week and a half ago, and I don't think I announced it properly on the podcast because I forgot.
Post your link in the.
Yes,
Chat.
I will.
If I recall,
yeah,
I
if-
think Race actually promoted your stuff while at BronyCon.
Well, thank you. So yeah, I've opened up commissions again. So if y'all have been wanting somebody to draw something for you, then maybe you should come to me.
I've gotten a commission myself, so
Yes.
yeah.
She posted her link in the chat for those who want to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Let's see here, and then as far as the rest of the week goes, outside of this weekend with BronyCon, it's been a really easy week at work. Both the last 2 weeks have been pretty easy, and I've just continued to get more and more Zootopia stuff. So now that BronyCon has passed, and I still have some money left in my wallet, I'm gonna buy more.
What if they made a Zootopia version of Pokemon Go?
Oh, I'd get it. I'd do it.
Actually, that seems a bit maybe not right. Go around capturing animals.
Capturing animals.
I do it. It's
Yeah.
I
have
mean,
them fight each
that's
other.
basically what Pokemon is.
Well, maybe
Capturing
maybe
animals.
for the Zootopia one, you can be like a cop capturing bad guys. Like there's a bad person.
Yes.
It's like this furry convention is actually a riot. Like it never ends.
Well, it's funny because Sarah can tell you she's had a bit of dismay to deal with me because
Oh, no
Um,
kidding.
yes, you guys know the Disney Infinity game that recently stopped being made.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have the Zootopia figurines, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait, I should play the game. So
Palpatine was behind it all.
So we went around and bought Sarah actually picked up the platform and the disc, and so we have this. But now I'm at a crossroad here, guys, because I don't want to take them out of the package, but I want to play the game. So what's the logical solution to my problem?
You're gonna buy 2.
I'm gonna buy 2 more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know that Judy bowler hat thing that I have?
You gonna get another one of those too?
I'm gonna get another one of those too, so I can wear one
See,
and then have one to be nice.
here's the thing: is you are half the fan who's like it needs to be in the box, and you're the other kind of fan where you want to rip it out of the box and be like, "Meow, it's an airplane." Meow.
Well, I mean,
NRFB.
well,
And then hiccup the giant fest.
I've already done this. I have 2 of the Judy plushes. So like, what's funny is they're not in like packaging or anything. It's just I have 2 of them. So, and one of them stares at Sarah like in the middle of the night. Like, Sarah, tell them the story.
There's been a couple of times now where I wake up in the middle of the night and turn towards Jeffrey, and I just like his back's to me, and then I see Judy staring at me from over his shoulder because he's like holding her close, and I'm just like, God damn it.
I just found something interesting. Quick little side topic. Or maybe I can write it
Oh,
down.
sweet. He didn't take advantage of that. All right. Yeah, side topic. Let's go.
Oh, quick little side topic. So Overwatch has been very popular as of late. I've been both enjoying and hating the game very much. Enjoy it when I'm winning, hating it when I'm losing. Guess which one is the more common of the two? All right, so
Losing.
but there's a lot of coming out, and also there was the new character, Anna. She looks really cool. I'm getting like this
She's
mad.
amazing.
Yeah,
I've been wanting an old lady character in Overwatch, and now I have it.
Well, have you guys seen? You all have seen Mad Max Fury Road,
yes,
right?
it's exactly like
The grandmas. That's what they are. The grandmas at the end with
Yeah.
the sniper rifles and the motorbikes. That's exactly what they are, or what Anna is. And I love the mom-daughter comics going on. Like it's great. Okay, so that wasn't my main topic. So there's this post on Tumblr, and maybe I'm gonna open up and see if we can switch over the image thing so we can show it here on the live stream. Where's my monitor capture? Here we go. Where I need to find the artist's name, but they drew female versions of the guy characters. So you got like your Lucio and Zenyatta. Scroll down here. You got Tjorborn and Reinhardt, and you got Junkrat and Roadhog and 76 and yada yada yada. It goes on and so on and so forth. But this artist chose to draw all these characters in very feminine ways, where anatomically not gonna make the most sense, but whatever. It's it's the artist's interpretation. And I reblogged it once, and I looked at my newsfeed and I saw these comments that were reblogged of people complaining about, I guess, like the images being like, why does Zenyatta have boobs and all these things, and complaining about, I guess, the body types. Okay, so
I can understand the kind of the gripe about Zenyatta having boobs, because it's completely like unnecessary to do. You don't need robot boobs.
but does that mean
Then
they have
how will I have sex with a robot?
exactly no? But what
I mean, I don't condone like attacking an artist for doing a drawing how they wanted to do it. I'm just
I find that interesting. It's
yeah.
I think there's anyone's allowed to critique an artist and their work and have their opinion. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And an artist is absolutely allowed to draw what they want. So I guess you kind of just leave it at that and let.
So what was the point of you bringing it up?
I don't know. I guess I wanted to see what you all thought personally about.
I guess it's kind of like that one thing with the Steven Universe stuff, where that one girl was drawing Rose thin. And
Yeah.
then everybody got all up in arms.
Yeah.
It's kind of just another version of that.
Fair. Okay. Just curious. All right. So I was gonna ask Race and Paleo about their weeks, but at this point, I know how their weeks work. Well, at least half of it, how it went. So, do you guys want to go ahead and hop into our adventure mode and share our stories from BronyCon 2016?
Sure.
Race?
No.
Okay, cool. Never mind. Have a good night, folks.
Well,
No.
yeah. No, God, I guess you and Paleo could probably start. You got there before I did.
Sure.
Thursday.
All right. So on Thursday, I flew in from. I was at 2, and I got there around 4ish. I took the light rail from the airport to the convention center. I saw Bernie's at the gateway of my airport in Atlanta. I saw them on the plane, of course. I saw them on the light rail. Just friendly people. I had a bump in with a police officer on the light rail because I did not buy a ticket to get on the light rail. For some reason, I thought it wasn't needed. And the officer's walking up and down the aisle, and I just fessed up. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize. I'm so sorry. Can I pay you now or just go with the ticket or what? And he's like, oh, you really need a...
Hello?
Hi.
That's what he said. Thank you, Paleo. Very good.
Hey, Matt.
How y'all doing?
Good, dude. How are you?
Doing all right. Loving the podcast so far. Finally glad to be able to say something in it.
Is everything up and ready to go for you?
I have no idea. We'll find out.
You sound fine on our end. Can you hear us all right?
Yeah, I've been hearing you fine the entire time.
Cool.
Good.
Oh, welcome. We were just talking about the BronyCon adventure stuff.
Indeed. Carry on.
All right, cool. So the officers walk up and down the aisle asking for the seat tickets. I fessed up. I'm like, I didn't know. I wasn't going to hide that fact. He's like, you really need to get tickets. Like, that's why the kiosks are there. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm out of town. Didn't realize. I'm dumb. I'm completely my fault. And he's like, pulls out his ticket book. Like, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry. And he kind of cut himself off. And he's like, okay, I'm going to give you a warning, but just get tickets next time. Like, make sure you buy a ticket before getting on these light rails because they're needed. I'm like, okay, thank you. And
it's funny because me and Hero, we bought tickets, and then we got on it. We're like, so where do we put these tickets? And then, like, after we got off, he's like, well, you didn't even need to buy the tickets.
no, you do, because
Yeah, they wait.
No, they don't check.
They don't check
'Cause they-
often.
They didn't check for me and Hero both
Oh,
times.
that's funny.
Well, I think it varies.
Yeah, it varies. Like, whenever I was in Texas and I rode the train, they very rarely ever checked if you bought a ticket. But when I went, I actually had to take the train to Burbank recently. And they, like, the officer was, like, going up and down the whole entire train, like, the entire way. Like, he checked people for tickets, like, 3 times in the hour that I was on that train. I'm like, geez.
I
Well,
guess
yeah,
it's,
they're
just-
serious about it around there.
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like messing with someone's mail. Will you get caught? Probably not. But if you do, oh man, it's a federal offense. You're going to jail. Like you're going to prison. And then I think, and correct me, Matt, if I'm wrong, but they make the punishment that severe in case you do get caught. And it's like, sorry, like it's almost the
Yeah.
punishment deters it, right?
Well, didn't the guy say it was like over $500?
Exactly. That's the thing.
I was like, oh,
was
you
like,
got out of a good one there,
whoa.
Saber.
wow, you were super kind. Thank you, officer. 'Cause I was like, that would have ruined my weekend. Like, thank you. That would have been an awful way to start my weekend, is to be like, here's a $500 fine. Here goes your rent for the month. It's like, oh, thank you. Thank you, officer.
I was drinking song about Saber's ticket. Oh,
Oh,
we
kill
did the
me.
same thing to me in DC. You jerks.
I'm trying to think if so I got to the convention, got to my hotel. We stayed at the Hyatt Regency, and I just kind of chilled out there until I met with Jax. Jax chilled out with me for a little while. Then Hero and Paleo showed up, and I have a bad memory, to be honest. I think for the rest of the night we all just kind of relaxed and just chilled out, right, Paleo?
Yeah.
Didn't we do pizza? We all ate pizza at that restaurant nearby.
Yeah, near the harbor.
Yeah. And what else? That was our first day. Paleo, how was the flight for you?
It was good. Yeah, I rode with a Hero, and we were both on the same flight. And when we got there, went on the light rail. Then met up with you and Jax at the Hyatt, and that was the Hyatt was weird because I guess because I was used to it since at the last convention we were at the MSP, it was also a Hyatt, so it had those cards where you have to use the cards to use the elevators.
I don't care for that at all.
Yeah.
But being Baltimore, I think I understand why.
Then why are the other like hotels don't use those?
I don't know. Whatever.
Like I would expect the Lord Baltimore, like the Radisson that we stayed up that one year, to have those, but they don't, and that's like the
That's
furthest
further,
we
yeah,
were.
that's
Yeah,
farther
that's the
off the
furthest we
beaten
were from the
path.
convention center.
Go figure. But yeah, chill day. Chill day. Thursday was pretty chill. You could call it a chill day.
Mm-hmm.
And then
That's
race-
why I wasn't there, because blah.
did we didn't go to any parties, did we? No.
No.
Some folks came over to our room and chilled out for a bit. Then we called it a night. So
Yeah.
it was pretty relaxed. Oh, I went to Gabe. That's right. I went to go hang out with Gabe for a bit, and I went to his hotel with the Creepers and Bash and chilled out and had some fun, just catching up. I figured this is like my one chance this weekend to actually like talk to them, and
Yeah.
and I walked through Baltimore and I was terrified. It was like about like a mile away, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. And though there are a lot of people out and about, I think it's because their concert just got out, and I don't think it was the Bieber one. It was another concert, because apparently Bieber was in town this weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was our Thursday. Now, Race, you flew in kind of on Thursday/Friday. Tell us about that.
So I for some reason like to punish myself. Yeah, the flight I had took off at 10 o'clock at LAX, so it was kind of nice because I could take my time getting to the airport after work. But the flight doesn't land, or it landed at like 6 a.m. and I had to catch the 6:20 light rail, which worked out. And then once I got to walk around the convention, outside of the convention center for a few minutes before things got going on Friday morning. But the problem was that I realized when I was setting up my check-in that I never set up my seat. I was like, no, not on this flight, not on the longest flight of the year, no. and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a whole row that's open. Sweet. And it's not it's not an exit row or anything. This is awesome. It's right in front of an exit row, but it's empty. I didn't realize that those seats don't recline.
Yep.
So,
catch 22.
Yeah, I did not have a reclining seat, and I was kind of sad, and I was like, shit. So I didn't get a lot of sleep on the flight, but when I was getting onto the flight, all of a sudden I heard someone go, AC! And of course I'm like, oh wow, I'm not even out of...
It's not working. Oh, me.
Well, I've been noticed on my way to BronyCons in the past, usually on connecting flights. But in this case, it was someone in LAX. It was this girl who's actually in the vlog, and her little sister, and I think a friend of theirs was with them, and then their mom. And yeah, she runs up and she's asking me like, "Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so fun. How are you doing? All this," and really cute, bubbly girl. And it's funny because then the people behind me are like, "Wait, who are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, here it goes." I'm just a guy who makes YouTube videos. We're going to a My Little Pony convention, which I typically have I don't have any shame just telling people straight up, as you guys have seen. But yeah, so I ended up sitting with those girls. They were in my row. The way things line up. Yeah, this kind of kicks us into Friday here, but got to the room. Saber was generous enough to wake up at 6:30 in the morning and let me into the elevator, and we got into the room.
You flopped in the bed, I flopped in the bed, and we all went back to sleep. Everyone was like, okay, cool, Race is here.
Except me.
Oh, except
Yeah.
That night I just could not sleep at all. I'd never fell asleep.
Paleo and I were in this kind of a similar boat where, for me, the travels screwed me over with sleep. Paleo, you just couldn't sleep at all. Because once I got to the room, I was like, all right, now I'm going to knock out. And when you sometimes are so concentrated on falling asleep that you can't?
Yep, I hate that.
That was me. That was me. And I don't even know if I maybe got 30 minutes to an hour of sleep. And it sucked. And I was like, oh, because we had 4 panels ranging from starting at 12:30, going all the way till at the end of 10:45. And I was like, yeah. But, yeah. So then Friday kicked off.
And we woke up to Jack's Blade, going to the gym at the hotel, then returning with donuts, which we were like,
donuts?
We're not going to turn this down. Thank you. And then we got dressed up, and Jim showed up. Our good friend Jim from the other podcast, from POS Podcast, that Paleo and I do, along with Tommy Oliver. He joined us for this weekend, and that was very exciting. Jim's a really cool dude.
Yeah.
He kind of vlogged as well throughout the weekend, and he did it in a really cool way. Like how he took a compilation of 5 to 10 second shots.
Candid moments.
Yeah, I love it. I actually thought it was really neat. I'm like, oh, this is kind of a interesting side of the spectrum that's kind of different from Race's videos, which are a lot more focused. So yeah, it was really neat. And then just seeing how Jim reacts to it. He took to the panels just fine. He did a great job.
Yeah.
On Saturday, Jim and Paleo both hosted the Who's Line, and they did a perfect job with that. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. You all went to go see a movie together, didn't you?
Yeah, we saw that on Saturday. We saw Secret Life of Pets. It was me, Jim, Jackson, Hero. We walked to the theater that was across the harbor.
How was the movie, by the way?
It was actually Illumination's best movie.
So not that good?
So, out of all of the movies that Illumination have done, which are the Despicable Me movies, Minions, and the Lorax, I believe, and this one is by far their best one.
Now, for some reason, I heard you guys, talking about the movie, and I guess one of the shining qualities this movie holds is that they have buttholes.
Yes. Yeah, like
What?
it's not really shown a lot, but like when it's shown, it's like, hell, oh, that cat has an asshole.
Well, everybody poops.
Like, you know when you see a cat walking away and it has its tail sticking up, like just that little piece of like gum.
Peace. Stop it.
Well, it's gum. It's weird because like
You're ruining gum for people.
I don't know. Like when I heard that, and I have to tell you, Saber, I don't think you were there when they were talking about this, but the individuals that were discussing it, Jax played Jim and Paleo, they were raving about this, and I'm like, this doesn't make me want to see the movie anymore.
Yeah.
like this isn't like a crowning achievement here. I'm just like, well.
I don't know though. I think My Neighbor Totoro has it beat with Cat Bus.
Well, I mean, anime has cat
Oh.
butts every so was a little like X or whatever.
Like
Yeah,
Cat
we're not
Bus
talking about
totally
anime,
has
though.
like. Okay.
But we're talking about like big budget like Hollywood films or animated films.
Okay, fine. Interesting creative choice from Illumination.
Yeah.
I guess to keep up with the theme of Minions, everything's got to look like ass.
By the way, when we got to
Well
the theater, the Minion short was just ending, so we were like, phew.
Touched. Oh my god. Thank goodness. All right. Well, on Friday we had a couple of panels. The first one was the Semi POS podcast, where myself, Race, Paleo, and Jim got on stage. There are people actually in the chat right now who were at that panel. Alec Greer. I don't think Jim Rashai is in the chat right now. He was there though. I have a bad memory. Nora, I know you weren't at the. I don't think you were at that panel. I think you were out and about, but she was at the convention. Jory, I don't know if he was there or not either. There actually were a decent amount of people who like frequent our chat who were at the convention. It was really good seeing. Like Loyal was there, really good seeing him. It was a good time to catch up, and that panel was a lot of fun too. Love and Sky, yeah, he gave us his pictures.
Yeah.
That's really kind.
No,
of him.
it was awesome getting to see everybody as always, and yeah, it was fun getting Jim on a panel in a convention that he had no idea what the show was about. It was fantastic.
Yeah, Jim really did a good job. Like, he's not a Bernie. He doesn't watch MLP. He's just kind of there to hang out with us, which, to be perfectly honest, is what we most of us do. It's not like we're all there to get dicked out and putty stuff because we've been doing this for so long. We just kind of
Speak for yourself.
Okay, Mr. Zootopia, whatever you say.
Yeah, it's still unrelated, I guess.
Sure. No, I mean, still like this show. Still think it's good. But after doing this for, it's been 5 years, it's like, okay, cool. The things that matter most to me are like the panels and saying hi to people and hang out with friends. Those things are great. And those things tend to be more neutral. And that's why.
Oh, come on. You forgot the most important thing.
What?
The food.
Actually, we really did not eat that much food this time.
Shh, I'm trying not to remember that.
Seriously, I was surprised. I was like, we never went to Luna del Sol. Like, we had pizza, donuts. We really didn't eat anything extravagant at all.
I know, a sandwich. Well, we didn't have time.
We didn't have time. We went to very practical places to get food. I mean, there's still places that we consider tradition, like the fermented pizza. We were able to make good on that. Pratt Street Ale House, which tends to be a favorite spot for people in the area.
Yeah, because it's right there.
It's right there. They get you in, they get you out, and they tend to have enough like tables, like because they have an upstairs too.
Yeah, it's nice because they have an outside, like a downstairs and an upstairs.
Air conditioning, God bless it.
Yeah.
So they do a good job.
I don't know why anybody wanted to sit outside. It was very humid. this
I
weekend.
agree. It was very humid. What else? After that panel, we had a riffing panel, and the movie I selected for that was The Princess and the Pony. I need to walk away for 1 second to turn off a light. Reyes, take it away for a second.
All right. Well, I was just going to mention that Saber actually skipped a panel.
Let's hear about that one then.
Saber and I hosted the Production is Magic panel with G and Barrow, Dave, and a latecomer being M.A. Larson. It was supposed to be Jason Thiessen, but he was unable to make it. So Larson ended up coming on in, and it was a really good panel.
back.
I was happy to actually see some people raving about it. Just in the content, or I should say the content, both in the questions and the answers that were being given. We had a chance to ask the writers a number of things, and it was our first time meeting Dave Polsky. So
He's a nice
that
fellow.
yeah, he's a really cool guy. We honestly, I'm positive that was my first time meeting him.
Same.
So yeah, a great guy, and the panel went well. And then we got into the Riffing is Magic panel
you're right. I
where
was
we
in the wrong
watched
order. You're right. My bad.
Princess and the Pony.
Yeah, I wanted to pick something that was not like G1, G2, G3 because it's been done so many times. And I googled, pony movies, and that popped up. And I thought, okay, this looks just like stupid enough to be entertaining for us to riff on. And it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was long. We had to cut into it. We had to jump to the end to see what happened. But like it was like on a cycle where it went from the house to the school to the farm to the house to the school to the farm to the house to the school to the farm. It's like, this is boring. Boring, but still fun for us to rip on. And then we just jumped to the end, and
That villain was like one of those cartoony things.
he looked like Sporticus. And who's the villain from Lazy Town? Oh, I forget his name. There's the villain from Lazy Town and Sporticus from Lazy Town. If they had a child together, it would be this guy. I'm not even joking.
Are you talking about the guy with the mustache?
Yeah.
Sporticus from Lazy Town with the mustache. He's the one who like wears the blue jumps around. And then there's the villain who looks like Jim Carrey if he was like mutated with a big chin. He's like, "Oh, I am going to be lazy." Meh. Like that. Those two combined equal the villain for this, which you'd think we're like, wow, amazing. But even then, he did not save the movie. That movie was beyond redemption. There was a weird scene where this kid like got under a truck and the truck moved and the kid just walked away. It's like, what? That's okay.
Yeah, like, is that kid
Why?
gonna die?
Why? Like, what was the point of that? And then we jumped to the end.
Robbie Rotten.
Oh, that was the guy's name?
Yeah.
There you go, Robbie Rotten. Thank you, Beatles. So we did that, and then what panel was it? Pretty much a break until Brony's reactions after that.
Yeah, we were able to grab some food, and then
Sleep.
we had I spent pretty much every break. What was great was we got to see a lot of people this weekend.
Yes, a lot.
You know, a lot of our podcast peeps, like you guys in here, and you know, a lot of friends that we've done work and projects with, a lot of new faces, and a lot of old faces. And the BronyCon is always notorious for us as being that convention that we know that if we're going to get from one side of the convention center to the next, and in no way is this a complaint, but we just know that we have to make time for that. And because of my lack of sleep, every chance that I had where we stopped by the room, I tried to like grab a few minutes of sleep before we went on to our next thing.
Yep.
This was by far our busiest convention we've ever had.
Yep. Busiest hands down. Hold on. I can't let Lemmy inside because he's scratching at the door. Good Lord, distraction.
So yeah, so we went. I think Paleo. Did we eat dinner at the Ale House that day too?
Was it that day? It might have been.
What was?
Did we eat at the Pratt Street Ale House?
We
for
did.
dinner?
I think what happened is after the riffing, we went to get food, and we ate at the downstairs section with a big group, and then we broke off where Jim went to go do some podcast with his Baltimore locals, and we broke off and went to our hotel and slept.
Yeah, Larson and GM Barrow and JM were eating there too. So I was walking by to go to the bathroom, and I look over and I see Larson and Barrow, and I'm like, oh, there they is.
There they is.
And and then it was the Bronies Ranked panel that came up. And it was at 9:45 at night in the main hall. It was really, I think, my first time seeing Gabe. We saw
your
him,
only time.
yeah, practically. Like I saw him a little bit earlier in the day, but you know, he was on the panel. Little Shy, Brony Dance Party, Viva, Saber, and myself. were the 6 people, and we were back in the main hall, which I was super excited about. The time was better than in past years as well, and yeah, it was awesome. It was I thought it was a really good panel. We once again barely put a dent into the questions, but that's just it's just a product of how many questions there are.
That's the
'cause I
nature of
don't-
the beast.
Yeah, and it was funny because very early on, and I want to say
Is your-
this before.
Is anybody else here? Is microphone breaking up, or is it just me?
Yeah.
I was
it's-
wondering if
it's
that
a
was
robot.
me. No, it's
Turning
yeah,
into a
it's
robot.
going.
All right, Race, try talking again.
How's it sound now?
Sounds
Better.
fine.
Better.
All right,
Fine?
as you were saying. We'll
Fine.
have to monitor it here. Keep going.
Wow. Yeah, let me know if let me know if anything
It's
pops
still-
up.
Yep,
It
it
is.
is.
No!
Just
For all
tap.
of you,
Does it
those
sound like
who
is
are
it a
wearing
connection?
headphones, we apologize.
Is it a connection issue? You think?
It might be.
Matt was getting
Oh.
overbodied for me too.
Yeah, I heard
It
Um,
might be me and Jeffrey's connection.
that. California's going down.
So what else is new?
Let's. I'm looking at my connection. Make sure it's not my server that's dragging it.
No, you're sounding fine.
Looks fine.
Sarah, did you turn off the yeah, the PlayStation's off.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
on.
you sound fine now.
You sound fine
Well,
now. It
yeah.
might have just
Of
been.
course
a
I do
moment of
now.
weakness.
We just
Problems.
have spikes of just bad internet.
Let me close 4chan here. Okay. Done. That should help. And my emails and Facebook
There are
and
15 terabytes of Zootopia.
oh, I am. Yeah, that's right. So, anyways, the Bronies Rag panel went super good. It was great to see the turnout that we had for that. And the thing that happened just before this is there was a protest happening right outside. So I wasn't quite sure how our turnout was going to be.
That was interesting. So, on I'm sorry, Friday night, we
Yeah, Friday.
heard a chopper flying about outside before the panel, and just like we said at the beginning of this podcast, it was a rough week for humanity. Shootings abound, and just some civil unrest, and there was a coordinated Black Lives Matter protest that took place in multiple cities across the nation, Baltimore being no exception to that. So we saw people outside. We heard lots of cop sirens going everywhere, and we saw them clearing streets and as the protests marched around and shut down traffic, which I believe is illegal. Like, you have the right to protest, but that doesn't give you the right to break the law during protesting, if I recall. There actually, I think, is a Supreme Court case about that. That's neither here nor there. But the folks, the cops were just making way, clear the way. I guess they're just allowing it, whatever. And we didn't see any violence, so that's good. And we never were affected by it either. So we went to the convention and got to greet a big old smiley and happy crowd at the main hall. And myself, Ray's, Rev, who is Toon Link, but he goes by Viva Rev now. We used to call him Rev. Little Shy, Brilliance Party, and Gabe did our thing. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was another Bronies Rag panel, which is live on my channel, by the way. All the panels that we've done are up on my channel, as well as additional uploads. I know Paleo has the podcast panel also on his from a
Yeah.
different perspective. You feel like you're actually sitting in the chair. Thank you, Hirosashi. So yeah, that was kind of a roundup on the first day. Then we was that also the night that was also the night that we stopped by the roast, I believe.
Yeah, the roast of Josh Dean. I spoke to Josh after that, or the next day, and he was like, I'm going to let you in a little secret, which I don't think it is that big of a secret, but he's like, I didn't drink anything during that panel. I was completely sober. So that means he was he was ready to exact his revenge on everyone who roasted him at the end. So that was fun. But yep, that was Friday, and we moved on to Saturday, which I believe you and Paleo finally got some sleep on Friday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Just to cut to the chase, I never really caught up on sleep at any point during this convention.
No.
To the point where I'm still feeling it right now. I like what's good is it was the kind of like lack of sleep that didn't lead to getting sick or anything. But I am probably after tonight I'll be back. It's just a lot of work and not a lot of sleep isn't a great combo. So I'm gonna try and see if I could get out to BronyCon on Thursday nights from now on, because that sounds like a much better idea.
Yeah.
So Sunday kicked off, and
We had breakfast at the hotel.
yes, we did. It was a nice big breakfast that we needed, and it actually held us over for
The entire
most
day.
of the day.
Yep.
And I had an omelet, and then I had eggs, and then I had bacon, and then I had 2 different types of sausage, and then I had more.
It was a $20 buffet breakfast. We were gonna make that count.
Yeah, I was gonna make sure that I got $20 worth of food.
I think the entire day for me, and for Race, and for most of us, I think, we did the breakfast, and then we didn't eat at all until I think we had a protein bar.
No, these jerks, Paleo and them, had lunch.
Oh, that's right, you jerks. You went to
How dare they?
What?
jerks.
We didn't have anything to do. You guys were
Oh,
doing panels.
shut up. But yeah, we were doing our job. So
Mm.
we I think I had a protein bar and lots of water, and then at the end of the night, it's like, okay, finally pizza, and like those fries that like Jim bought, those were really good. And
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that was neat. And then that was our Saturday. Oh, no, it wasn't. Just kidding, guys. There's a couple of things.
Yeah, no, that was it.
That was it. No.
Nothing
We were busy doing panels.
We had lunch.
had
That was
had,
it.
had no panels. We started off by doing a panel for GM Barrow. That was fun. We talked about her books and the writing and everything. That was a lot of fun. And then
Wait, before we move on, there was an achievement that happened at this panel where like it's one of those moments where I'm like, wow, it couldn't have gotten much worse than that, which makes me love it even more. Is that during the panel somebody asked Jillian if she ships. And so she was kind of sitting there thinking about it, and she looked over at you and she looked at me. And then, I was like, well, I'm going to chime in with my ship. So I said, Nick and Judy.
oh god, here we go.
And, a couple of people are like, oh, like, here he is with the Zootopia. And I'm like, ha, yes. And also Jillian turns to me and she's like, guys, he ships a naked rabbit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
and I was like, yeah, I can't believe it.
I'm like, a naked. Oh my god. No, I said Nick and Judy. It was fantastic because I went back and watched it. It does sound like I say naked Judy, but I'm like, what kind of shit is that?
And the ever so classic answer, the Titanic with iceberg.
Ah.
So that was the GM Barrow panel. It was a lot of fun. It was a good warm up. And then we had, what's the script reading panel after that?
It was the first of 2.
All right, so this was interesting. We were invited by Tabitha St. Germain to be part of this script reading panel, which she asked us a few weeks before the con, and we were flattered, like, oh wow, yeah, that's really neat, thank you. And I didn't realize at the time that this was like the first main 6 panel for the convention. And I'm like, oh wow, I guess we get to be a part of it, along with like Ashley Ball, Tara Strong, Andrea Libman, Tabitha, of course, who's the ringleader of this panel for the most part, and then Michelle Krieber and Gabe. So
Yep.
we were all given roles and lines to read out. I was Spike the Dragon, Race was the narrator, and so on and so forth. And that, something that really tickled me was that Tabitha was calling people out and introducing them, and they'd sit down. So it's kind of like fill the front rows and move your way across the table. And I was called out in the middle, so I sat in the middle of the table, like the Last Supper in a way. And I'm sitting between, to my left, Tara Strong.
Did you
To
just
my,
compare yourself to Jesus?
well, yeah. So, yes, I did. To my left is Tara, and to my right's Ashley. And I'm just sitting there in the middle, as the raspiest Spike who ever lived. And I'm like, okay, here we go. I can only imagine that half the audience hates me right now. Like
Half.
he's like, he's not even a good.
The other half already hated you.
He's not even a good Spike. He's not even a Spike. I'd agree, but we were invited, and by God, we were gonna have a good time, and we did. Gabe cracked me up multiple times during it. He was really funny, and everyone else did a great job. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was for us. It's an obvious honor for us to be up there, and taking part in that. It's funny. I didn't even think about it until I was looking over the script, and I'm like, oh my God, I have more lines than anyone else on this thing because I'm the narrator. I have to go through the whole thing. So yeah, but once things got going, it went really smooth, and it was a lot of fun, and just one of those moments that you really treasure. Like, hey, it's cool that I was able to have a part in that and be able to put on a show for the audience that showed up.
Yep, that was a lot of fun. And then we almost had we pretty much had a repeat to a certain degree with Tabitha, where it's just myself and Race and Tabitha in the kids' room, and we were assigned multiple roles, and we read off Tabitha's script, and Race was Pinkie Pie, aka Mickey Mouse, and
Yeah.
And funny enough, though, that was the biggest laughs for the kid audience was from Race doing his Mickey Mouse Pinkie Pie voice. So that was a lot of fun. We enjoyed that.
It was good. It was good. I even had some parents come up and compliment. And it was funny because they were one of those compliments that you said about and think, well, wait, was it a true compliment? They're like, that's the biggest thing that's most important when you're going to do this stuff. If you're not going to be good, at least make them laugh. And I'm like, wait, huh? No, he didn't actually say that, but it was
that John
we
Sean
got
quote.
we
If I can't
got
be
a
the
few
best, I can
compliments.
sure as heck be the worst.
It was cool though. Again, I think the coolest part about it was that we were finally able to get into the room that our maturity level is leveled at.
Well, it's funny.
We're
As a sign saying 14 and under only, and I was hoping there'd be a bouncer in the front, carding children, be like, "How old are you?" Welcome to the Subsidy Splatoon. How young are you? But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then after that, we took off to our Who's Line panel, or went back to our hotel to prep up for Who's Line, right? Or was it something else?
Yes.
And
Who's Line?
And as far as prep, we mean the sense of okay, to Paley and Jim, you guys are good. Is everything ready to go with note cards and you have
Charging cameras and all that stuff.
Yeah, everything is ready. Calling and make sure that people who need to be on stage were there. I went a bit early to talk to the staging manager, and they did a great job. And everything was perfect. Everything went great at that panel,
Yeah.
and we were very, very surprised at how absolutely big the audience was. We're flattered.
Yeah.
We were told that we had one of the largest, if not the largest, panel at the convention.
Well, it was one of those. I mean,
Maybe, I don't know.
I was gonna say, I'll be honest. From being on the main 6 panel script reading, all the main VAs are up there, and then to see, because from our vantage point, we were able to kind of gauge the crowd, which was a huge crowd that showed up for the main 6. But at one point, halfway through the Who's Line, which this is typical, it'll fill up to pretty full, and then by halfway you look around and you're like, there's only a number of seats that are open at this point. From our perspective, it looked like it was potentially one of the biggest panels of the year.
Yes.
People that went to more panels could tell us, because obviously we were running around so much. But yeah, that's what the staff, the guys running the room, told us as well, that it compared right up there with I think they mentioned opening ceremonies, which I imagine was
Does the
pretty
opening
full panel.
ceremonies count though?
No, so thank you for asking. So
and for the record, now that we're closing, no, those are, I think closing ceremony had a ton of people there too. But considering all things, yeah, we had a lot of people in there, so easily top 3. I wouldn't swear my life on it, but I'm pretty sure we had the biggest panel of the entire convention, which is pretty awesome.
And that's all a thanks to you guys.
Absolutely.
To everybody that came out and came out for a laugh. Sorry we didn't give you any, but
We
No,
told you to be crying, but didn't necessarily say it'll be laughter at that.
I have a side story here. So we were, I think Paleo, you might have been with me, but we went into the vendor hall before that panel started, and we got up there. I had all my cameras ready to go, and I was running around, and I realized I had 4 cameras and I had 2 tripods. I was like, okay, I'll see if I could figure some out here. So I set up my main camera in the back, all the way in the back of the room. Set it up, zoomed it in, got it all squared. Then I ran and put my front camera up on its tripod, set it up. Everything's looking good. And as I'm setting that one up, I'm like, wait, we're 5 minutes from the panel starting. I still have to set up 2 more cameras. Why are they moving this where the judges are sitting, where Paleo Jim are sitting? So then I have to run to the back again. I have to reframe the stage.
Yeah, I was wondering why they were doing it. Apparently, it's because like their other camera that's at the other side of the.
That is why. That would make
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. So I had to go, and then I had to get backstage, and I asked one of the AV guys. They were all fantastic, and this I don't know his name, but helped us out a ton at a bunch of the different panels, and he completely hooked me up with 2 of the mic stands and a roll of tape. And I'm used to working with just a roll of tape at like the racetrack when we're setting up cameras. So I'm like, okay, I have 3 minutes before I'm supposed to be up on stage. I've already ran around this room twice. Let's do this. So I quickly set up 1 camera, I tape it on, and then I'm like, where do I put the 4th one? So I just faced it towards the speaker and the big screen. And as they had already announced Saber Spark on stage,
Ran up on stage.
I was still running around the back as they were calling my name. And I sat down and I went, shit, this is going to suck. I was already out of breath. I was tired, and I'm like, all right, let's do this. So it was awesome though to be able to get, Saber myself and be back with Gabe and Bevids in front of that big crowd. It was like old times again.
Yes, a lot of fun. Really, really enjoyed it. I was trying to think. So then Sunday rolled around, and we did there weren't any panels really on Sunday. We were able to finally relax and chill out with some people with the limited time that we had. A lot of folks left in the mid part of the day. Braze partook in a charity auction, right?
Yeah, I helped out our good friend Henry Beavids. Of course, he was on the Who's line. He was up there running the whole thing, and they did actually a really, really good job with timing. As far as I know, they almost, if not got through everything, but because timing was one of the big compliments I think both Saber and myself had for this convention. It's such a big convention, and their scheduling was great. Their staff were great. Like everything was just on it this weekend.
Yeah, everybody was just crushing it.
Yeah, I cannot think of a single complaint convention wise that I would have. Like I said, the only complaint that I can think of having with the whole weekend was on me, which was my flight scheduling that left me with no sleep.
That's your fault.
That's all me. Which is great. Like I'm happy that that's the only complaint I have. Like this was just a well-oiled machine. All the staff were super helpful. I never once kind of got a vibe from anybody. 'Cause sometimes we've had to deal with getting from place to place, and sometimes certain staff will make that a little bit more difficult.
The staff
and
were absolutely phenomenal during this convention, and we really appreciate when they don't like go super crazy on us. Like, we need your badge in order for you to go back here. It's like guys, respect. We understand, but like we were told to come here.
Yeah.
And we gotta get to work. Like, we gotta do this panel, and so it's not us expecting to be treated that way, as much as like we got a job to do. Let's get to it, boys.
There was enough of like there's some people that, and I'm not calling out specific people or specific conventions, but there have been times where we have had to get somewhere quick, and we'll get halted because, like, well, I don't know if you're supposed to be back here. And it's like, okay, but maybe you should have known that before because now we have a time issue.
Yeah.
This is, by the way, this is such a small thing. It's not really a big deal.
It's not.
in the least.
It's not like an ego stroke we're looking for, as
No,
much as
no, it's
making
just-
sure that we're making good on what we were, told to do.
Yeah, and basically my whole point is that it was really easy for us to manage our time, and that is a huge part thanks to the show, or I was going to say show staff. Thank you, Ashley Ball, for helping me get around the convention.
The con staff, yes, absolutely. All right, so at this point it's 10:04. I got 26 minutes left.
10-4.
Do you guys want, or
Good buddy.
Eastern? Do you guys want to go ahead and do some Q&A for a bit?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, to make.
Well, yeah, you tell them.
All right, so I don't think Kess is here in the chat at the moment. Oh, there he is.
He is. He finally
All right,
was able to get power.
All right, so Kess, you can go ahead and post out your copy pasta with the Tumblr link, which is the preferred method of answering questions. And then, of course, we have Twitter accounts, myself, Race, Sarah, and Paleo. You can ask us there. So we'll do 25 minutes or so of Q&A, and then we'll wrap this up. And I'd imagine some Pokemon Go questions will be thrown in there, so we can do two birds with one stone.
Yeah, yeah, I guess Pokemon Go was our other big one. I'm just trying to think. Oh, so just a fun tidbit for those that haven't seen the Bronies React panel from BronyCon, and those that don't know already. Since we've talked about Gabe a little bit, one of the funny things that Saber and I found out recently from Gabe was that for those that have seen Finding Dory,
Oh, gosh, yes. Here we go.
and those that know the character Becky, the bird that has the wild eyes and just goes blah, 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 whatever.
The loon.
And clearly, I wasn't made to be a voice actor, but that's Gabe. That's Gabe's voice, and he didn't even know until he went to see the movie in theaters that he was. That was him. Like,
It's so bizarre. It's
What did he think he was doing the noise for?
It was for Loon. It was I forget the name of the project, but they were just asking him to do a Loon voice, and he did it. And it's just like, oh well, just so happens that's for Finding Dory. So I don't know if that's their way of keeping it hush hush, or not have to like pay out the nose for people. I don't know. They probably have their reasons. Interesting stuff.
it's just funny. Like I can't even imagine being in Gabe's. Wow, I was about to say hooves.
Go to church.
Wow, what a brony.
Wow, I've been at BronyCon. That's good. That's good. At least I admit it. Losers.
Jerk.
Okay.
But all right, so we got some Q&A questions popping in here,
Yay.
and you guys ready to hit this?
Yeah.
Sure.
I just right before we do, I just want to one more time say, all of you that are joining us here, whether you're live or watching on YouTube
Or dead.
or dead, especially you guys that are here joining us live, I love you guys. It's so cool to see you all in person at these conventions, and it was a fun weekend. Like Saber and I had a blast.
We did.
And I matched Paleo too. So
we had a lot of fun. It's just great seeing everybody, and we wish we had more time to hang out with individuals one-on-one. Cadet was there as well. It was great seeing her. She's very sweet. It's just, I hope everyone understands that we are extraordinarily busy, not in a pretentious, pompous way, but more of as in we got a job to do, and hopefully no one takes it, no hard feelings. But yeah, it was great seeing the people we could see. We got to see a lot of faces, just we were not able to spend as much time with them, but it's still good at least seeing people.
yep.
All right, I want Sarah and Matt and Paley to actually start talking, so let's hit some questions. All right,
Why?
so on my Tumblr here, I'm going to go ahead and pluck out a question. Got one from Ozial saying, I just curious about Able see whenever yet or not about the new Ghostbusters. I love you, Ozzy.
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Is it
Ozzy.
out yet?
No, it comes
It
out
comes
next
out-
week.
Well,
Okay.
no, tomorrow.
Well, okay. By
Ooh.
next week, I meant next weekend, which I meant tomorrow.
You,
What-
wait, what you
what-
meant this
what- what
weekend.
is-
Well,
Shut up!
What is time though? No one really understands. Is it?
Keeps flowing like a river.
Shut up.
I mean, I don't have a problem with the new Ghostbusters. I've been kind of wanting to see it.
Are you going to see it?
I was hoping you'd go with me.
Why would he even want to go?
Sarah, I'm sorry, but I have other movies to see in theaters.
Like Zootopia again.
It's interesting how I was reading on Twitter because Lauren Faust was posting about how.
Yeah.
Yep, here, and I hope we all go about this peacefully, but I understand, and I completely agree that females, especially young females, need more heroes to look up to in entertainment. Because
Judy Hopps.
as of now, she's a rabbit. As of now,
She's a girl.
Ellen Ripley
She's a girl.
from Alien.
there you
Rabbit.
go. We need more Samuses in
Sarah
our
Connor.
life.
What's wrong with female rabbit?
She's not real.
We're not gonna be peaceful about this at all.
Yeah, I mean, you just fired shots there, Saber. Buckle up.
All right, I'm just playing. No, I think Judy's a great example, but like there are a lot of stereotypes in entertainment, and it gets schlocked out quite often. That's why things like the crystal gems are very refreshing. But that being said, I want to see this movie, and I want to see how it goes. That's what I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm skeptical. I hope that the way these girls are portrayed in the movie, it's a win-win for everyone. Hopefully the hype is negative in a sense of we just and let me rephrase that. Oh, it's negative, it sucks. No, I think right now a lot of us got a bad case of the nostalgia is going on, and it's kind of blinding us. But at the same time, at this point, I don't see a ton of reassurance either. So let's see what happens. All right, let's see if it's actually good or not.
How is it doing on Rotten Tomatoes?
It's at 75, I believe.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
It even came out.
No, it
Yeah,
hasn't
well,
come
it's out in the
officially
UK.
yet. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, 75's doable. Better than
That's a
Secret
pass.
Life of Pets.
It's a passing grade.
What's that one doing?
74.
74.
Oh.
It's just doing better.
Though I have to wonder, like, how many of the reviews are like, I'm going to give this a positive review because of all the negative backlash.
And I wonder how many of the reviews are. I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it a negative review.
Yeah, it's like
because-
on both ends. So
No,
I have to see it for myself to see, like, well, which is it?
No one sees the movie; they just make up reviews. Because there was a post. Well, there was a post on the movie subreddit where apparently people were like purposely trying to crap on it so it doesn't do well, and it's like you haven't
And
seen.
also doing the opposite.
You haven't seen the movie yet. Oh, whatever. People are taking this pretty seriously, and it's like let's just see if this movie actually can stand up on its own two legs. We might be pleasantly surprised. And
From what I've heard from people that I follow, as far as like movie reviews that I trust, they say it's a mixed bag,
it's,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what I expect from it. I expect it not to be horrible, but I don't expect it to be, you know, as good as the original.
Here's my like thoughts going into it is a lot of times I take a lot when they say before a movie from the creators of blank, and this one is made by the same people or the same director that made what was it, Bridesmaids?
Yeah.
yes.
That movie for me sometimes had a lot of try hard moments when it comes to the comedy side of it. Where
You
I
know
was
what?
like, oh,
that's a good descriptor for it, because like from the trailer for the new Ghostbusters, it does seem kind of try hard.
there's a couple. That's what I'm worried about. That's my concern about the comedy in this movie. I'm like, oh, I like sometimes when things are out of context, they obviously make less sense, and
Yeah.
maybe that's just what we're missing here from the trailers. But I feel like if you're making a trailer, you also want to avoid putting things in that need context. So, yeah, I don't know. I imagine we'll probably end up seeing it. It sounds like Sarah wants to see it. So, yeah, we'll go. Why don't we see Independence Day?
No, please don't.
Why not?
It's
I
pretty
don't
bad.
want to.
Is it gloriously bad?
It has a
It's
Kinda.
bad, kind of bad that you should just not see it bad.
It is kind of entertainingly bad.
Did you see it?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh!
like the Independence Day resurgence is like, you know how there's the people after the internet became really big, people were like, man, the original Independence Day, it wasn't that great, and people are like, what? No, it's fine. And this is what those people who didn't like the original Independence Day, this is what they thought it was.
Guys, it's
Gotcha.
happening right now.
What? What's happening?
I just okay. So because we're talking about Rotten Tomatoes, I was looking at Independence Day with 32%. Ice Age Collision Course, Rotten
16.
Tomatoes, 24%.
They
Wow.
they don't care. They know exactly.
They don't care. They're
They-
gonna do fine overseas.
They
Yeah,
they
like
know
China,
exactly.
China and Russia love the Ice Age movies.
What's with our? Yeah. Oh, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
You know what I love is 24% on Rotten Tomatoes, 94% of the users want to see it.
You can already
Oh,
tell
boy.
that like Dennis Leary and like Ray Romano are just walking in like in their sweatpants to like the studio to record like let's get this over with, and that's I gotta pay for my yacht or whatever.
I'm also looking at Rotten Tomatoes right now.
When's the Ice Age gonna be over?
There's one
It's been
movie
over.
that I have enjoyed the most out of this summer that isn't Finding Dory.
It's Utopia.
Is
No.
Zootopia.
That's not summer. That's,
That's
spring.
not summer.
What is time?
But I'm glad that that's what everyone went to. Thank you guys.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but
You're
no,
welcome.
The
I expect my
Shallows.
check in the mail.
The Shallows is at 76%. It's like 1% above Ghostbusters right now. But The Shallows is a great movie. It was fun.
Hmm.
And that has a female
Shark.
lead.
A female shark. Yeah, there you go. No, there's a strong female type to back up. Is a female shark that'll just jump out and eat male
Yeah.
pigs.
Yeah, I mean,
Talking about the surfer.
pigs.
No, you're kidding. No.
What's our next question?
yeah,
Oh.
The next
No,
Yeah,
one.
maybe
for-
we should move
For-
on.
no,
Yeah.
then let's not. I do want to say though, it would be pretty neat to see more female characters like getting the spotlight on the big screen. So we'll see. You know, in this craziness of Pokemon Go, what's the next big thing to
What
happen?
about Star Wars?
Yeah, not Ridley. Her name's it's Daisy Ridley, right? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she's great. I think she's fantastic. I think they do a good job with her, where she's a strong female type, and it's not pandering. I love that.
Yeah, we're getting it at another character in Rogue One.
Yeah, Daisy,
Yeah, but no
Daisy
one's-
2.0.
No one's gonna watch that movie though.
Yeah, you're
No,
right.
they'll
Why bother?
What?
It's just Star Wars.
Next question.
All right, let's do this. All right, so scrolling around.
I got one.
Go ahead.
This is a question from Jory, asking most memorable moment from BronyCon.
Mormont.
None.
Mormon.
Actually, meeting Jim.
I could be just surrounded by like the world's greatest treasures, and I will push them out of the way to run into Jim's arms and just cradle him. Be like, just nestle my head against his chest, and I just know everything's gonna be okay. He really.
So that was your most memorable.
No, I'm playing. No, that was actually a moment. No, it was great meeting Jim. It was great meeting him for the first time, just seeing how he takes everything in. He was very open to it all. That was really fun. The panels, the script reading was kind of surreal. Be like, wow, here we are. The Who's line, just entertaining that big of an audience of people who who actually enjoy comedy. And I'm sure those in the audience who don't and wanted to see us crash and burn. Ain't improv great? There actually was a moment where you tried to do some like flash thing.
I tried. Yeah, it was like the ponies are in college or whatever, and I tried to flash, but I was showing that I can't because I have hooves.
Mm.
It really hit the ground hard.
That's
Best
what you were saying?
joke. Yes.
Oh.
Is it bad that that's some of my favorite part of improv.
And some of ours actually too.
Oh,
The
those are the
ones that-
best. They fall flat, and it's like, yes.
Man, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of the moments you just mentioned were super great. It's hard for me to remember a lot because I was deprived of sleep. Like, we talked about that, I think, on Monday. You and I were having a call, Saber.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can barely remember anything that happened.
And it's just
Because there was
cool
so much.
seeing all the new faces, and like Alec Greer, we got to meet him. I don't think we mentioned him yet. Like Alec, who I think is still in the chat. Alec, I don't know where you are, but we got to meet him. That was really cool.
Can I call you out?
What's up?
You were going to mention Drummer Shy, weren't you?
Oh, he's not in the chat right now, but we met Drummer Shy.
Yeah, we did. I want to call you out because I know that he was at least watching earlier. You got so excited at one point because you thought Nathan was at the convention.
Oh yeah, I thought Nathan was in the line, and I was like Nathan, and the guy standing there was like, no.
I was standing there going, no, Saber, no, stop where you're at.
I ran up and gave him a hug, and I started kissing him on the cheek.
Didn't he ask a question at the podcast panel?
He did.
The guy
He was just a Spike. I'm like, nice try, Nathan. I know it's you. But
that was funny.
just all the people, like all the different faces, and like who else? Like Nora. We got to meet Nora for the first time. She's so bubbly and kind.
She gave me a little toot.
Got to meet Laura. She's really sweet, really kind. Got to hang out with her. That was fun. Got to meet.
Super sweet.
Yeah, absolutely. And then
So sweet.
Then we got to meet the Drummer Shy with his meat sweats.
God damn it, Drummer Shy made me eat a freaking piece of blood. I don't know why I didn't say no.
Would you? I was surprised. I'm like, Ray's
Never
doing
again.
this?
Folks, don't bring me meat to eat. That's the last time I'm because I'm still like waiting for something bad to happen.
What did he bring you?
He gave me a piece of bologna, and I tried to like siphon it off to like the people around me,
Siphon.
and I got down to like a third of it, and I was like,
Yeah, I'm
I
surprised.
should have eaten it. I should have eaten it.
I instantly turned
Drummer
around.
Shy,
I
it's
instantly.
not against you, man. That was against all of my better judgment. To
Sorry,
put
I
a
don't.
piece of meat in my mouth.
Mother taught me not to accept meat from strangers.
So yeah, no, that's never happening again. So congratulations on that. Ugh.
So we move on to the next question.
You know, Sarah, what was your most memorable moment?
I didn't have one because I didn't go.
Favorite Ben Carson movie?
What?
Who's
I
that?
don't know. Thoughts on Patton Oswalt becoming a pony?
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
This is something that we were going to talk about.
I
He,
like Patton Oswalt.
yeah, I know he's kind of had some rough things happen recently, but I'll be excited to. He's got a good voice for animation.
He does.
Yeah.
And his daughter
He's
loves
a
the
character-
show.
He's a character in We Bear Bears. He's a Nom Nom, the koala,
Yeah.
internet famous koala.
I didn't know that, and I also didn't know he had a daughter who loved the show. So
Yeah, Patton gets around, and I think he really enjoys it. Where he's like, "Yeah, I'll be Parks and Rec. Yeah, I'll be in this show," and he has a lot of fun. I think was he even in The Office for a bit?
Yeah.
I forget. He's everywhere.
He was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. too.
There you
For a
go.
little while.
He's a super nerd, super kind. Like you said, it's been a really rough year for him. He lost his wife, unfortunately, and I don't know. Just thinking about the guy. I hope he does better and that his life improves. But he's very much so a hilarious guy. He's great. I don't.
I
I
got
don't feel like I know him personally or something. I don't.
Nathan asked a question. No.
Go ahead.
Oh, he was just asking, with the BFG coming out, is there a book you would like to see made into a movie?
Hmm.
The Hobbit.
That'd be good.
Wow.
Already been done multiple times.
Two.
See a book.
It's hard because most of the,
Nothing goes over my head. I'd catch it.
The Great Cheese Caper.
What?
It's a Zootopia book.
Wow. Wow.
I have it. I own it.
I'm not
You
surprised.
know what?
Yeah, you do own it.
It's been made into a miniseries before, but I'd like to see like a reboot of, I guess, Dinotopia,
Huh.
Oh.
because that's a book series.
The
I
prequel to
used watch that
Zootopia.
show.
This is where I dropped the ball. Oh, you know what? Warhammer.
I was gonna say Goosebumps, but we kind of did that already.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just had that last year.
Yep.
But not like that was cool actually. I enjoyed that movie because of like, oh my god, there's characters here. Like I actually thought that was a better movie than I thought it was going to be. So
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's read it, but I've been reading this comic series called The Lumberjanes, and I think that could translate pretty well into a movie.
Oh, Animorphs.
No.
Yes.
No, they tried that back in the day. It failed.
They didn't do a movie. They did a show.
And it failed spectacularly.
Oh shit!
I remember
Apparently,
liking the
20th
show.
Century Fox is developing a Lumberjanes movie. Well, then
Well, there you
I
go.
got my wish.
Of course, pretty much there's been a blitz in Hollywood. Like, grab every single book you can. Is it nostalgia time? Yes, it is.
I'd like to see Lackadaisy made into a movie.
Well, I don't think there's been a lack of Daisy as of late.
Wow.
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 Try hard. Not to.
Yes, all the time. All right, so I'm trying to find some questions that are a bit more broad for all of us to answer. Let me look at my Twitter here. You all have any questions?
Me?
For what?
For you? No, I got a couple of
Yeah.
this here that people have sent. Nora asks, "What was the most interesting encounter you had with a fan while at BronyCon?"
Okay, fair. That
Eating
one,
baloney.
You know,
that's the sound you made too when you.
I'm
ate
not. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say I'm not. Just because you asked the question, but Nora, it was fun to meet you at BronyCon. I think this is our first time meeting you,
it.
right?
She's so animated. I love it. Like you can.
It is. Yeah.
She's super sweet. Favorite, or what was what was awkward?
You know,
one?
the next time I go to a convention with you, Race, I'm just gonna hand you sandwiches throughout the day.
I got one. I'm gonna be. What? Sandwiches?
What? I want sandwiches. Give me
Ham
some-
sandwich, bologna sandwich, roast beef.
Oh no, I'll take sandwiches from you, Matt.
I want sandwiches.
Thank you.
Give me sandwiches.
good.
What the heck?
No, okay, I got one here. At the Bronies Rag panel, we had somebody who came up in a Fluttershy cosplay near the end after we asked everybody to ask quick questions,
Let's do it.
and they decided. I'm going full in on this one.
Yeah.
Um,
why not?
The individual was giving the impression they were very shy, and therefore it took approximately 5 minutes to ask a single question.
And,
to which the-
mind you, I said multiple times over, and this is all right. This happens, where I was like, okay, guys, this is splits round. We want to try to get through this line as fast as we can and get as many people as we can. So please,
one question each.
So this guy walks up and he's like just as Fluttershy, whatever, and he's like, I'm just nervous and I'm like the Fry from Futurama thing where I'm like not sure if socially awkward or cosplaying as Fluttershy or both.
So obviously we're not going to
I'm
assume.
not gonna call him out on the spot, and be like, "You faker," and be like,
You liar!
"Shut up." All right, so
Wow.
so the fellow asked like 4 or 5 questions, and one of them was a little bit inappropriate. We roll with it.
It
though.
was actually my favorite question of Brony's Rag, I'll be honest.
Yeah. We'll go
Gabe
on.
handled it well. He asked if Gabe and Michelle were dating to Gabe, and I thought Gabe was just like Gabe handled it really well and explained that they aren't. But the thing is that the guy came up to me the next day.
No.
and he's like-
After that panel,
was it right after?
yeah, he was still in his Fluttershy outfit. We're doing. There's a line outside of our panel of folks, I guess, who wanted to meet us afterwards.
Oh,
So
you're
we
right.
spent like an hour and a half afterwards just talking to folks. He was one of the folks in line, and he walked up to us and he said, like, by the way, I was totally faking. I was acting. I'm actually just pretending to be nervous. And I was like, ho, you got us. You're a good actor. And in my head, I'm like, you jerk.
Wait a
I'm like,
minute,
dude,
everybody's time.
There were 3 or 4 questions we could have gotten through. Like,
Whatever.
I'm all for people like playing the part. It's
Whatever.
Just,
it's not, at the end of the day, nothing was like. It's
no,
like,
there isn't. I just remember like that moment when he walked up and he's like, "Yeah, I was just pretending." I'm like,
pretending to be a jerk.
"God
Like,
damn it!"
I don't know. It's.
I would have been happier if you were just socially just.
Yeah.
Ah!
Then we'd have a reason, but it's like, dude, that was like 4 or 5 questions we could have gone. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, that's like I feel worse. I'm feeling bad for the attendees at that
Well,
point.
I saw some folks like afterwards who were like, you can see them like, "Aw," and they walked out of the line. Because can you imagine being behind that person and how frustrated you'd be?
I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it.
Then-
Yeah, no, I can't.
And
I
the thing
can't
is,
imagine.
because that person pretended to be socially awkward, we couldn't like assume like, okay, this guy, is up with it when it comes to the social interaction, so he will understand when we say, "All right, one question, thank you," versus someone who might start crying if we said something like that.
Yeah. So that and that's the only reason I'm bringing this up is because the guy came up after and was like, "Yeah, I was just kidding." Like if that person never came up again, I would
have been like, whatever.
It wouldn't have been a big deal. I was just like, and it's not a huge deal. It's like you said though. I feel bad for the people that stood in the line for the majority of that panel, and then that's why they didn't get to ask a question. Oh well, that was just a funny encounter. It was like, oh you
Or whatever.
you guy,
It happens. What can you do?
oh you. So, yep.
Well, it's 10:30 right now. Do y'all want to do one last big question before we wrap this up?
Do you have one? I'm kind of looking
I
through.
want to
if
find
you
one
need
that everyone can answer.
Well, while y'all are looking, just for future reference, what is your favorite type of sandwich?
Here, let's end on this one. Okay, why not? Favorite type of sandwich? Because I'll be honest, right now I'm struggling to find questions.
Big burgers.
There's a bunch here on Twitter.
I'm scrolling through. I don't see any. If you have one,
They're all sent to me. No one likes you.
I don't blame them. All right, favorite sandwich? I don't know. Chicken sandwich. There. That's my answer.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
French dip sandwich. I love au jus.
Paleo?
You know what? I like a good bacon chicken ranch melt. That's good.
Nice.
I like any sandwich that's gluten free.
she's an easy to
Yeah.
pleasey. I kind of got a combo question here from Stubby and Navi Sky Hunter asking about the Pokemon Go. What style games would be funny to see? And he was referencing how we talked about a Zootopia version. Somebody put a pony version.
Yeah.
Any that you guys could think of?
Um,
Where's Waldo?
that
That would
would
be
actually be pretty great.
Yeah, like Waldo's deer.
Waldo
You just
and,
look
like,
around your phone. And
Where
like,
in the
where is
world is Carmen San Diego?
my God.
That'd actually be pretty funny.
Go around solving crimes in your hometown.
Yeah. Another question here from Ozzy asking, have you heard about HaCon or HAHCon?
What's that?
I heard about it.
Horses
I
at
don't know.
home.
Yeah, was that like those that weren't going to BronyCon,
Yeah.
basically? Or well, I hope everyone had fun.
Yep.
Kabari's asking, will Dr. Wolf ever be on Brony's React? Nothing has been signed, but you never know who you're going to see in a Brony's React. Ha ha ha. Ominous answer. Shy Fro asks, what is the most memorable moment you've had during the summer?
Let's finish it up on this one. All right.
Going to Disneyland on 4th of July. That was amazing.
That was good. And getting to see Judy
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
actually, that would probably be like one of the highlights of my summer outside of these conventions and all that stuff, and getting to see like really good friends was when I got to first meet Judy and Nick at the parks and get that first hug from Judy. Like that was a damn good hug. I'm glad that's the one that I had on camera.
And the video said it all.
Did it, Jack? All right.
Is it ever right?
Favorite moment? I'd say this past weekend at BronyCon.
was great.
Incredibly fun weekend. I'll definitely say that was the one.
It was great.
All right. Well, unless you guys have anything else to say, I think we're gonna close this episode out.
I'm hungry.
There you go. All right. You
Go
guys
take care of that.
have anything to say before we shut it down?
Them ponies. I
Don't
missed it
forget-
last time.
Oh yeah, Sheena. And a reminder for everybody that if you ever have the wild hair to get something drawn up, Sarah has open commissions. So
Yep.
she's looking for work, and any work she gets helps us eat more food.
Throw money at her.
I gotta talk to you about that afterwards, Sarah.
You relink my template in chat just one last time.
If you
And also,
Sarah,
like-
if people become your patron to you, are they gonna see the picture you made for me someday?
Yes. At some
Cool.
point.
Some
And
point.
also, I'm just gonna link up my Twitter because on my, the little description, I have my Patreon link, and then I have my email that I use through my commissions. Check it out.
There you go.
Check it out.
All right,
Check
folks.
it out.
Thank you for joining us for episode 32 of the Semi-Perfect Podcast. I'll try to get this up on YouTube tonight, along with the other 2 episodes that still need to be finished. So I will do that as soon as I can. Immediately starts playing Overwatch. All right.
And one last thing for me, I was gonna just say that day 3 of the vlogs and Who's Line, I expect them to be uploaded tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get day 3 up tonight. Don't count on it.
Cool.
That's it.
All right.
Hold on, Cadet Red Shirt just got here.
Timing is everything. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Adios.
Good night.